Lions fans, Lions Nation, what's going on? It's your boy King. Few topics I want to talk about in this video. First and foremost, Inside the Den, episode 4 for the Detroit Lions. And also, we're going to talk about MiniCamp. So let's dig in.
Consecutive thumbs up.
Cops is watching, the streets is talking. Your hopes are
Consecutive thumbs up.
Holders unfaithful.
Consecutive thumbs up.
Holders unfaithful. Your family ungrateful. Your
Consecutive thumbs up.
niggas ain't loyal.
Clock D's, bar trees, out of drop V. Rep Detroit every time I'm in front of a camera. Clock G's, bar trees, out of drop V.
All right, Lions fans, let's look into it. First and foremost, let's just go over Inside the Den, episode 4. That is the most fresh thing on my mind right now. It was absolutely amazing. We had an opportunity to really see what went on in that war room, some of the conversations that we seen in the interview process, some of the confirmation on some of the mysteries that we seen in the previous episode. You couldn't really tell who the coaches were talking to because they blurred the players out, obviously. But we got a chance to see who it was. And Aiden Hutchinson was that player that the defensive lineman coach were talking to, and they were telling him that you had to be more than a one-trick pony. So we were trying to figure that out. And obviously Aiden Hutchinson is the perfect person to tell that in the interview process, man, because he offers so much more. But we all know we still have a lot of Kayvon Thibodeau fans, and like I said, Kayvon is going to be a heck of a player. But I felt like several times in this video that they were giving hints on the type of guys that they wanted. So I'm not even sure if Kayvon was really an option, especially when you look into the war room and the reaction and, basically who they were pointing out, who was on the board and who was number one and who was the guy. So, that may have been a major smokescreen with them sending the brass out there, to Oregon for that pro day. So, like I said, Brad Holmes did a great job of letting us know ahead of time that the type of smoke screens that was going to be out there. But if that was one, he did a hell of a job at it because a lot of people felt like Kayvon was going to be the pick. And it's still a chance he probably would have been if Aiden wasn't available. So, with that said, they went through player by player and they showed the interview process, man. Those coaches really dug in those interviews, man. And, it was a consistency in the type of players that we got. It was mostly high motor, good character, man, playmaking ability. Like Dan Campbell said, he doesn't want any turds on this team. He doesn't want a guy on this team that's all about me, and marketing and getting my this, that, and the third. He wants players. He wants football players, man. You heard that term used over and over and over, and I absolutely love that, man. It just it increases my excitement for this upcoming season, man. I'm so ready to see some of these guys. But of course, we also got to talk about MiniCamp. So today was day 3. And, I have my sources when it comes to MiniCamp. Of course, DetroitLions.com's, you got Mike O'Hara, you got, Tim 20Man. So I always read those reports. I also go to Detroit Lions podcast with Chris, man, and the guys over there. Mark Oram, of course, you got Dosa Dion. So those are just some of the names that I use when I want to get some type of update on what's going on day by day. Me, myself, personally, I like to do it in totality. So with this week being wrapped up and this was the last practice for the week, you would probably see the veterans go off and get themselves prepared, until training camp is ready. We do have more OTAs next week. We have one more next week, and Dan Campbell said himself he wants to focus on the younger guys. So those vets probably go off and do those individual things they love to do in the off season, get themselves prepared for training camp, man. And I cannot wait because obviously every year I go to training camp, and some of the battles that we've been hearing in this mini camp, I'm looking forward to that, to see in person. So some of the things that went on from day one to day 3, man. First and foremost, quarterback battle. Jared Goff David Blau, Tim Boyle. David Blau has definitely been impressive. He's been impressive according to what I've been reading. Has his connection with certain players. Jared Goff has his connection with Amon-Ra St. Brown, obviously. Been hearing that name a lot. But some of the other receivers you've been hearing their name called, in this mini camp with some impressive play, man. Khalif Raymond, obviously. But Cephas is a big one. Quintez Cephas is somebody that, we all want to see come back and just be even better, after the injury that he had to deal with. So to hear that he was playing well and making big plays is a big thing for me, because it only adds more in that battle in that receiver room. We are solid at receiver. We are so solid at receiver. But in the meantime, we have to talk about, Williams, Jameson Williams. Dan Campbell has said that, he doesn't expect Williams to be ready for training camp. The Detroit Lions want to do it the right way. And I absolutely love that. No reason to rush this guy back. Take your time until he's ready. I know he's young, he's anxious, he want to get out there, that's fine, but you got to do this thing right. If you don't want any hiccups or any setbacks, let him heal, let him get himself 100% ready. We got plenty of receivers that can hold down the fort until he's ready to go. Like I said, even hearing things about Benson, what I'm saying, in these mini camps. So we all know it's just mini camp. And training camp is training camp. Let's just be honest about it. But it's just good to hear these things, man, that they're building this chemistry and having these connections with these quarterbacks, man. So, like I said, been hearing some good things about David Blau, man. Tim Boyle had a pretty good day yesterday. But yeah, David Blau has been a name that I've constantly been seeing when it comes to reports on what's been going on with the quarterbacks, man. As far as offensive line, it was good to hear, Taylor Decker, Jonah Jackson, Ragnow, Vaitai, and Penei Sewell all out there together. Even though Taylor is nursing, still nursing the injury that he was dealing with, it's great that he was out there during those walkthroughs and things like that, because it's not an injury that's going to give him problems. It's not an injury that's going to hold him out of training camp. So, they're just being careful. They're just trying to do things the right way, and I appreciate that about this team a lot. So to hear those guys out there together is great, man, because I got really high hopes for this offensive line, man. They can make everyone flourish if they're healthy and if they're available, especially out there together. So, Jared Goff, DeAndre Swift, those type of guys, they flourish when that offensive line is healthy. And speaking of DeAndre Swift, his smoothness, they were talking about how smooth he's been during this mini camp. And, what do you expect? Catching the ball out of the backfield, making some plays, man. They've been battling, doing some 7-on-7 work and, whatever type of drills they run. I've always just heard that DeAndre Swift has been smooth and just looks good and fluent out there. And that's what you want to hear. That's exactly what you want to hear. So, with that said, the offense, I have a lot of hope for this offense. I have a lot of faith in this offense, man. I think they're going to do really well this season. I think they're going to attack this season, like we haven't seen in a very long time. So we have a lot of weapons available. So let's talk about the defensive side of the ball, man. Of course, we start with Aiden Hutchinson. Aiden Hutchinson, man, has been ringing bells since the first day he suited up. Let's just be honest about it. We've been hearing, the good things about Aiden Hutchinson, man. His teammates are absolutely loving it. But the mental aspect of the game, at the same time, he's out there doing his job physically. And that's what you want to hear, because that's why you were so excited to draft him. But yeah, Aiden Hutchinson, man, swiping at footballs, almost causing interceptions out there. They had drills, where they wanted guys to get in and try to, deflect that football. And he was out there swiping at a few footballs, putting some pressure on the quarterback. They've had some competitions today, I heard, with the defense and the offense. Panay Sewell against Demetrius Taylor, who was undrafted, were catching punts today. So they've been having a little fun at the same time. But, yeah, man, Aiden is definitely doing his thing. Did hear that Josh Pascal was dealing with some a minor injury in his lower extremities. So I didn't really see exactly what it was. That's what I read. So, but yeah, hope he just, I don't want nothing nagging, to be, nagging on into training camp and stuff like. I want these guys to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody healthy. Everybody needs to be healthy, man. The DBs, man. The DBs been doing a pretty good job. Guys like Parker, you know what I'm saying? Some of the previous undrafted guys, man, that played well for us. You've been hearing those names in training camp. Hopefully we can get another step forward for them guys. I mean, I said training camp, good. MiniCamp, y'all know what I meant. But, it's good to hear that. It's really good to hear that, man. I obviously haven't heard anything about Okuda. I can only go off what I've been reading. Nothing really big time on where's Okuda, what is he doing at this time, whatever, this, that, and the third. But for what it's worth, some of the younger guys, man, some of the undrafted guys, they've been making some plays, stretching out for that football, trying to make plays. Joseph was supposed to be picked higher for the Detroit Lions. They were actually looking to pick him higher, and then when he failed, it was just amazing for them because he was one of the guys on the list at the time. Y'all have to watch that episode. Like I said, man, they go through every single player, man, for Houston and Rodriguez, everybody. Y'all definitely got to go and check that out, man. It was an excellent video they put together. And it wasn't orchestrated because obviously you can see the list. They show the list as they point to the player's name, and it wasn't orchestrated. Those were legit guys that they wanted, and that's kind of obvious because you had an opportunity to go and get a few guys on that board that a lot of us fans wanted. We had an opportunity to go and get Malik Willis, but I don't even think he was really a realistic option. So, yeah. But MiniCamp was an absolute success. Everybody got out of there without injuries. That's a plus, right? So the only thing that we can do now is try to track these guys as they do their individual thing. Some guys put some things out on social media. But, these guys are getting ready to go and put their heads down and get ready to work, man. And, we take a pause into training camp. So in the meantime, we just have to, try to get as much as we can and keep some good topics going, and keep this content going for the Detroit Lions, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there doing it. Shout out to Lions Nation Unite, man. If you want to see some breakdowns on that receiver room, man, Herman Moore himself over at Lions Nation Unite, man, on YouTube has been doing those breakdowns, been doing a great content on that, man. It gives you a perspective of an actual pro and a legend at wide receiver and what he sees, and his breakdowns, and you can learn a few things on what to expect from a receiver. So with that said, man, definitely download the app. I tell y'all all the time, download Lions Nation Unite, man. And make sure you follow them on Twitter, on Instagram, and subscribe to them on YouTube to keep up, man. With that said, shout out to Dose of Dion, Micro Mike, man, everybody that's doing it, Mark Oram, Detroit Lions podcast, Chris. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man. You guys keep me updated when I need to be updated. So with that said, let me know in the comments, man. Who are you excited to see when we get to this training camp, man? Who are you? First of all, are you going to training camp? Are you going to training camp this year? But who are you excited to see in training camp if you do go? Who do you want to hear about, man? Who is your player? Who's that guy that you have high expectations for this season? I'm very interested to hear about that. And also let me know what you guys think about that episode of Inside the Den, man. You got to go watch it. It's over on the Lions YouTube channel, so go and check that out and let me know what you guys think, man, and drop it in the comment sections. Let's have some good deep discourse in the comment section. So with that said, it's been a blast. And on to the next video, man. You guys be safe. Have a great night. Peace.